Not fine conditions at the WACA ground. It's a case of third time lucky for us. Twice we've been on Friday night and it's poured with rain. But tonight, after some rain during the day, it's fine. The ground hard and fast, and we could really be in for a treat here tonight. And that first bounce has just about gone into orbit. The Eagles are going from left to right. A make or break game, as Drew said. They're 7th and 8th on the ladder, and really the loser tonight is out of touch with the top 5. The first kick of the match goes to Barrage. Finds a near. He's 70 metres from goal and kicks to the forward pocket for the Eagles. Chance for Wiley to run onto it. Also Hart. Swinging shot from 25 metres. Is just offline and wasn't marked by Peter Francis. No, it wasn't, on the wrong side. The first scorer behind to David Hart. The Eagles with 6 wins from 7 matches on their home patch and looking to make it 7 out of 8 tonight and desperately needing it. Great attempt there by Miles to take the mark. Up on the half-forward line as the defender, and now a ball up 60 metres from the West Coast Eagles goal. Good evening, Kevin Bartlett.
G'day, Tim. Certainly it's going to be a great game with both these sides, of course, fighting for that place in the 5, and the Eagles are only losing 1 game here in Perth, and I think they can win this game tonight, which should be a really great, exciting one.
And good evening, Doug Hayward.
Good evening, Timothy, and as I say it, as Chenko goes up and takes a mark, and this is probably the most popular man in the side. He gets it across, and play on went Matera downfield, but the advantage rule is not allowed when the mark is taken. And this big, strong Russian, as they like to call him, has really been a wonderful success for the Eagles and is so popular in the grandstand, out wide to one who's very good in Lamb. Lamb sends it wide in the Robert Wiley direction. Glendenning was there, and Glendenning takes the mark. And I guess if one talks popularity stakes, the captain might even take #1 position because he's done everything right for the season. I think he'd be leading in the best and fairest for this club. He's played at centre-half forward, the difficult position, shoots from the 50-metre mark, kicks it long, right to the square. In front was Madden, picked up nicely there by Williams. Williams boots out wide towards centre-wing position. Lamb punches down away from Izard. Thompson, a very good player, always gets it down, but it's booted back towards centre-half forward, out to the flank, and Williams goes for another one.
Kicks it very high and very wide. Not so handsome. John Anea, the man where the ball came down, or nearest to that spot, takes the free kick between wing and half forward for the West Coast Eagles, who after 2 minutes have the only scorer behind. He kicks to within about 40 metres. Bit of pushing by Lockyer. The umpire Vernon, right on it, saw it, gives the free kick to Winton, who runs onto the left boot and goes out wide and accurately to Simon Madden. The officials are umpire Vernon, the Western Australian on the senior panel. His first job on a West Coast Eagles game, and with him Ian Clayton. Now it's the Bombers into attack. Big long one towards Salmon from Merritt, who's at centre-half forward. Now Daryl Cunningham in the pocket. He's a left footer. Good hand pass inside. Danaher. First goal of the match to the Bombers comes after 3 minutes of play, and well threaded together. Daryl Cunningham paid for it and finished up in the gutter, but he's been in the lead up to an Essendon goal, and that might pep him up.
And the Bombers have opened with Paul Salmon in the goal square and an open forward line. No player within the 50-metre radius on the ground. And Terry Danaher, the captain, of course, who just booted that goal, is playing in the forward pocket, and Miles is marking him, and he's playing way up the ground. But certainly good hands there by Daryl Cunningham, who has done pretty well after shifting across from St Kilda. He really struggled to get a senior game down there at Moorabbin, but Kevin Sheedy has found a bit of consistency in his form at Windy Hill.
Yes, game number 6 with Essendon. Simon Madden gets across. Malaxos sharks it down. It goes to the half-forward flank, and Kevin Walsh is on Glendenning and leads in the run. Goes trundling towards the boundary line. Turns out of danger. Must have been over the line out of bounds. Thus there'll be a throw-in.
Incidentally, one change in the Essendon lineup. Hamilton is out of the 20 that was named, and Keane comes into the 20. He's on the interchange bench at the outset. Cleverly off the ground by Lewis into half-forward. But the Bombers repel the Eagles again. Danaher in front. Cunningham, almost a clever mark from behind. Didn't know he had it. Forced backwards on the centre line. He is a natural left footer. To half forward, Salmon amidst 2. Running onto it, Izard, the man just about the fastest in the game. How will it bounce? Curls around for a behind. Lucky to get that. And the Bombers' second score is a minor. They lead by 6 points, approaching the 5-minute mark of the first term.
It appears that Lamb might have the job of looking after Danaher. Out to Zanotti was a good kick, and very late on the scene was Izzard. Zanotti's pretty annoyed about that too. And Izzard won't worry about it. Zanotti goes up now and kicks towards the centre of the ground, looking for Malaxos. It's not a good one, and the mark is nicely taken there by Considine. Considine will be kicking just about from the rectangle. Kicks it long downfield. Roger Merritt's in very good position. Zanotti spoils him beautifully and hits it over the line out of bounds.
And Keane has come onto the ground for the Bombers, and Daryl Cunningham has gone off. We saw him limping before, and there he is in the box there.
Bombers in attack. The Eagles defending this great home ground record, and it's going to be tough for them tonight. Bailey. Parker it is. Long. I've only seen him in whites before, or creams, not in red and black. Izzard for a behind. The Bombers' second minor score. They lead by 7 points after 6 minutes of play.
Dean Turner, very long. Billy Duckworth comes for the big leap. Punches it down in front. The chance is there for Bailey. Bailey tackled by Laidley. It's right on the boundary line. Chance for Turner again. Hand pass isn't all that good. Laidley. Better hurry, Lamb. Does so, but kicks it straight downfield into the hands of Considine again.
Just forward of the wing. Essendon doing most of the attacking. Long, but hugging the boundary. Merritt from behind. Spectacular leap. Zanotti well tackled by Big Rog. Pios diving onto it. Lamb well pressured by Essendon. And a ball up on the Bombers' half-forward line. In fact, deeper than that. It's only 30 metres from goal. And remember that tremendous game that these two teams played at Windy Hill in round 2 of the season, in perfect conditions at the Wacker. Although there are empty seats in the background, we hope they might repeat it tonight and give the crowd that's here something to remember. Pios out to half-back, but it's...
I think it's Considine.
Again.
He's played well. That's possession number 3. He's taken out there in the wing position. In front. Lovely leap by Thompson. Well, this young man who's traditionally been one of the fiercest and one of the best back pockets in Victorian football is up in the centre half-forward post and is only about 40 to 45 metres from goal. He's had a magnificent season as Bomber Thompson. Kicks a left footer, off direction, through for one behind.
And interesting, Doug, that he started on the ball tonight, and young Johnston has gone into the back pocket for Essendon. So the skills of Bomber Thompson needed around the ground tonight in a ruck-roving role.
Schenko in front. Merritt contesting as usual, like a man inspired, and a ball up on Essendon's half-forward line. The Bombers 9, the Eagles 1 after 8 minutes. Umpire Grant Vernon, lovely bounce. Merritt the knock, but no one there to make the most of it. Now Thompson, great smothering though by the Eagles. Hawker. Bailey, number 31 for Essendon. High tackle, Eagles free kick. And hard to take it on the half-back flank.
Matera with the ball. Matera now about the 50-metre mark. Kicks it very long to the ground. Considine again, but punched brilliantly that time by Miles. In comes Peter Francis. Runs into his teammate. Main Waring's got the opportunity. Out it comes, and here's Billy Duckworth, the ex-West Australian. Kicks it out very cleverly towards Walsh. Francis is underneath it. Opportunity now for Parker to get his second kick for the night. Parker kicks it straight to Chris Lewis, and Lewis takes a good mark.
Eagles not using it well. Still got a chance though. Matera on the centre line. Good elusive stuff to half forward. Not much at home for them. Winton with dash out of defence. Kicks from the 50-metre line back to the wing. Fist from Pios, runs onto his own spoil, but gets into the back of an opponent, and it's a free kick to Keane on the wing to put the Bombers into attack again.
And the young Bombers are doing pretty well. The old Bombers the target in Danaher. Miles is his opponent, punches it away. Ischenko comes in, hits it out straight to Izzard. Izzard an open goal, tries to find a hand pass to, but it comes back to Salmon. Salmon shoots for goal and misses. The Izzard hand pass was directed towards his captain, Terry Danaher, was well smothered, big Paul, the big fish, picked it up. His kick for goal was a bad one through for one behind, and the Bombers are doing a lot of work and getting all the play at the moment.
Certainly was a bad miss, Paul Salmon. I mean, a noted goal kicker. Kicked 62 goals in 12 games. A few seasons back, he should have really popped that one through.
Good kick from Miles, and a strong mark is Chenko in front of Madden. Very well taken. Kick falls luckily, I think, from Malaxos. He didn't quite make the contact he wanted. Malaxos into trouble and out of it to Turner, to half forward, but again nothing there for the Eagles. Merritt now in the defensive half. Glendenning, clever knock on. Matera, now Barrich. Well done. Well taken by Brian Winton. Kick should have been a goal, but well, full marks Winton anyway.
Oh, and Barrich did Billy Duckworth go for him that time, and here's Considine in the thick of things again. But no free kick, it's out of bounds. It'll be a throw in, and William Duckworth hurled himself at Barrich that time. Here comes Simon Madden with Glendenning. He's out roving well, runs into trouble. And he crawls after this little man. Past man wearing it goes to Hawker. Hawker back to centre wing position. Danaher and Miles, and Danaher strong, very strong, a magnificent one-hander, out to Hawker, open territory to the big fish, too short for him it was. An opportunity now for Brennan, out wide, and it picked up nicely by Lamb, cleverly to Malaxos, on to Lewis. Lewis from centre half back, looks for Glendenning with a gem. That was magnificent cooperative team football, and Glendenning with the ball.
To the flank. Lockyer used the body beautifully. Well played to Hart, bad fumble. Gets himself out of trouble nicely. Long to full forward. No big men there for the Eagles, Francis. Well done Matera to put him under pressure. How will it bounce? Runs away from Hawker. Hawker with some poise, but not quite getting the hand pass away cleanly. Free kick to the Eagles. The man at the bottom of it was Laidley, and with a sore leg he comes out with the ball and kicks towards full forward for Lockyer, but well done Izard in front.
Izard roving particularly well at this stage. He's been their main goal sneak for the season. Danaher and Miles again. Miles the big leaper from behind. Out it goes and picked up by Hart. He sends a long left footer to Lockyer. It's a good one. Beautifully directed left foot pass. And Lockyer, who started the season off at full back for the West Coast Eagles, takes an excellent mark. About 45 metres out from goal will he be when he comes in to shoot for goal, but a very difficult angle. Be a good 50-degree angle. And the Eagles really needing a score at this stage. Lockyer's kick is off direction and just squeezed through for one behind. So that's two scoring efforts. They are 2 and Essendon 1-4.
That noted pinpoint accuracy of Essendon, their skills we saw well out before. When we saw Hawker there drop that little short pass into Salmon. Usually they would have hit him on the chest a couple of seasons ago.
Well, there's an example, Kev, while you were speaking.
It's unbelievable.
Kevin Walsh, a shocker, and Ischenko on the proverbial impossible angle. Doesn't want to have a shot. Glendenning. So Walsh compounds the felony there. Not managing to hold Glendenning by the shorts or whatever. And now the skipper from only 15 metres out should surely kick the Eagles first. Perfection as ever. It took them 13 and a half minutes to get a goal. The margin back to 2 points in Essendon's favour.
And Laurie Keane has just been brought onto the ground, and John Annear has gone off for the Eagles. But let's have a look at Walsh's kick there. An absolute shocker kicking out from full back. Now, we spoke before about the skills of Essendon before with Hawker, whose kick should have hit Salmon on the chest but dropped 3 or 4 feet in front of him. And there's just another example. And Essendon a few seasons ago noted for their great skills, and this is one of the reasons why they're no longer a great power they were 2 or 3 years ago.
Danaher, one of their good players always. Izard's the target. Lamb his opponent. Turner runs into it. Thompson. Bailey. Out it goes to half forward flank, and a chance for Parker. Parker to Salmon is dangerous. Salmon well handled. And a beautiful stop by Hart. Well, that was simply miraculous.
Push it
there was
back
a push to Salmon when he kicked it, and Salmon will take the kick. And what bad luck it was. Here it is on replay again with Parker. Out to Salmon. And there's the push from Zanotti very high. and a spectacular interception there by number 36, David Hart, was thwarted because the big fish could hardly miss this one.
Pretty lucky free kick, I think, Doug. I don't think there was too much of a heavy shove in the back there to Paul Salmon.
Well, in that case, it was cruel luck for Hart because he really showed what 100% endeavour will do. Salmon puts it through, and the Bombers advance to 2-4, and the Eagles are 1-2.
Well, he should have had 2 goals, Paul Salmon. He missed a sitter before running into an open goal. But it appears, Doug, that they've decided to place Salmon at full forward, give him the run of the forward line with plenty of room, and they're going to try and get the ball down to him like they did a couple of seasons back when he was such a giant and such a force. And we've spoken before that Essendon always look dangerous when Salmon is standing there at full forward, and they've got the great opportunity tonight on a magnificent night at the Wacker to really see if Paul Salmon can be that goal-kicking sensation he was a couple of years ago.
Well, of course, he's not a fixed full forward now, but or hasn't been during this year. He's kicked 14 goals in 14 games. You wouldn't have believed that a couple of years ago. He's just gone to 15. He's averaged 1 a game so far. The 27s are Zanotti and Madden. Well played, Madden. Bit of the professional free kick about it. That's not a professional free kick, that's for real.
Roger Merritt there. Oh, it's on.
Well, when Big Rog gets involved, it usually warms up fairly quickly. Darryl Cunningham saying, hit me. Dwayne Lamb resists the temptation.
The big fellow Ischenko's in the middle of it, rightly so, and so he should be.
Just to give you a score, in case you might have joined us in the last couple of moments, the Eagles 1-2-8, the Bombers 2-4-16, leading by 8 points. It's a very lean and fit-looking Ron Alexander looks on anxiously, and Zanotti, after the professional free kick, gets a 15-metre penalty as well, and will put the Eagles into attack from on the centre line. Out comes Lockyer, 1 out, just about held it. Izard a poor kick, up and down on the spot. Wiley from behind Madden, had the run at the Giant, didn't have the size. Hawker. And a ball up between centre and centre half forward for the Eagles.
A most unlikely pair started that ball in the 2 number 27s, Simon Madden and Mark Zanotti. But Zanotti was pushed around early by Izard and probably a little bit angry. And certainly that erupted into a brawl. There's 2 sides desperately needing the win tonight, and the 100% endeavour. Essendon really looking a bit more like the side of old. They're really into it with that famous tough football. There's Bailey down looking for Danaher. In comes the big Ischenko and does it beautifully. Plays on with a great one. Glendenning from behind, but it was nicely taken by Peter Francis in the middle of the pack.
Lovely mark. The skilled former premiership wingman with Carlton, veteran now of 4 clubs. Well done, Miles, against Danaher. Then got into the back, though, of his opponent, and it's a free kick to Parker. And the Bombers swing into attack. Out comes Salmon. He's the target and the danger. Should have held that. Had clean hands on it. Hart got out of trouble nicely at half-back. Well played. Glendenning now with front position. Plenty of attention from Walsh. And the Bombers back into attack. Considine to half forward. Izard now. Just outside 50 metres. Goes long. But lurking back there is the Giant, who's been a big influence so far. Allowed to play on. Danaher. Oh, he missed. An amazing miss. He was under pressure, but really he was so close he shouldn't have missed that.
Well, it was unbelievable play by Ischenko, and look at Ronnie Alexander shake his head. Absolute disbelief. And that was a let-off for the Eagles because Terry Danaher should have kicked that goal.
I'm really surprised that the umpire allowed him to play on with a hand pass which wasn't over the mark from behind the scoreline.
Out towards centre half forward, Madden the leaper, but didn't look like it. Nicely picked up there by Thompson. Thompson back to centre half forward. Good leap by Chris Lewis. Again comes down with the ball, plays on very cleverly. Couldn't get through the pack. Malaxos is tackled. Will take a free kick against Madden. And the crowd are enjoying that free kick against Simon Madden, who's been one of Essendon's great. Out to Zanotti. They'll love this, the crowd. Roger Merritt chases him. Tried to give the professional free kick, was unsuccessful. Zanotti brings it out to Laidley. Laidley kicks it down in the main wearing direction, but Lockyer's there in a great spoil, but Lockyer might take the free kick. No, against him. Against him for shepherding long before the ball was in sight, and the free kick goes to the Bombers.
Considine from fullback. Well taken, Johnston. And away he goes off the half-back line. Good accomplished stuff from the youngster. Nice delivery too to Cunningham. Support from Williams. Pressure from Lamb, who copped it from Merritt. Oh, word. It's a wonder his head's still on his shoulders, but he's okay.
That was a very heavy bump, and Billy Duckworth also collected John Anea early in this quarter. So the two tough men of Essendon, Merritt and Billy Duckworth, are going to make certain that the Eagles earn every kick tonight. It's a make or break game for the Bombers.
They sure are, Kev. There's no one like Roger the Rogue. He's a magnificent player, but my word, he's got a streak in him. And so's William Duckworth. Here comes Bomber Thompson. And down he goes, and the ball doesn't stay in play. It'll be thrown in, but they've been two of the great catalysts for Essendon, have Roger Merritt and Bill Duckworth. Whenever Kevin Schutte wants someone to, in a desperate situation, they're the two who are there. Turner nicely done. Back to centre wing, Ross Glendenning and Walsh. Passes them both. All free kick. Must go to Duckworth. He points his finger and says, I saw that. But I think he's given out a few before this all started. There's Willie Duckworth. Across the neck it goes. A wild man from the West originally, number 22. Been a magnificent finals player for the Essendon in their palmy days. Out in front, Hart, well played. Been a fine player, takes it centre half back.
Poor kick from Duckworth, and the little man where he should be in front of the pack. No one on the mark now. He kicks along to half forward. Where's Glendenning? There he is. Beautifully done. He's having his best season for a long time. The man on the mark is just inside 50 metres as Renstead started the game on the bench, is preparing to come on. Dominated the early games during the season, but seems to have lost a bit of form. Glendenning from right on 50. Kicks high and long, and it is home. And don't the crowd at the Wacker love that. The Eagles' second goal, and the captain doing it in style.
Well, we've said before that maybe Ross Glendenning could win a second Brownlow medal. Let's have a look at this great mark, because Walsh is a very good player, long arms, good defender, but the body work of Ross Glendenning, I don't think there's anyone in football today who uses their body as well as Ross Glendenning does.
I think that was one of Walsh's hands that finished up with it, actually.
There's the golden boy, Ross Glendenning, captain. Laurie Keane on the ground, sends a long one looking for Lockyer. And he outmanoeuvres his opponent brilliantly, sends it down looking for Hart. Hart shepherds, it's through. No, it's not. It is now.
Well, what an amazing incident. Really worth having a look at again, because that ball bounced on the line, just refused to cross the line. Seemed to go up and down on the one spot for a moment, and the Essendon players are saying it hit the post.
They believe it hit the post. Certainly the player touched the post. There it is. And the ball was pushed through for Essendon there by David Johnston. Actually laid it against the post, and that was a very bad piece of goal umpiring, because it was quite clear.
And it was Hart who kicked it.
So a sensational goal to the Eagles, one which really wasn't, but it's in the scorebook as a goal. And have a look at your paper on Monday morning. Tomorrow morning, in fact, it'll be in that early. Merritt under pressure. Free kick to the Giant, the tough man. Off to Bomber Thompson. Now Madden from just forward of centre. Here comes Salmon, but again 2 to beat, and they sandwiched him. Bailey pressured, put the head down, and so no sympathy from the umpire. Now Matera running onto Salmon's soccer kick. Matera from half-back. He might be on the centre by the time he kicks it. The Eagles' skills coming to the fore now. Must be a free kick. And advantage now. Away goes Matera. Little chip pass is good to Mainwaring. 45 metres out. And quick thinking by Matera to break away when he saw the chance to exploit the advantage ruling. Malaxos on the bench. As Mainwaring, tremendous player for West Coast, kicks from 50 metres out. Well, it's a lovely looking kick. Mightn't quite make it. Well done, Madden.
And guess who's been moved on to Glendenning? The man who looks after all the trouble for Kevin Schutte, Terry Danaher. So that's Rob centre half forward, but Glendenning was taking over from Walsh. Back it goes, in comes Merritt. Good mark. Merritt goes for the run across the half-back line, and he's alone. Sends it looking for Walsh at centre half forward. Walsh, a very good player, will respond to it all. Gets his left foot and down in the Izard direction. Lamb in front. Lamb brilliant. Sends it out wide with a lovely pass to Laidley. Laidley alone and unattended in the centre wing position. Turns, poises, looks to kick it long for Glendenning. It's a beauty. Oh, he missed a wonderful jump. Here's Matera and looks for a hand pass. Out it goes to Lewis. Lewis short to Laidley, short to Hart. Is again splendid football. And number 36 has been in everything. Been very courageous and a very telling player. And also is Alan Izzard, who's had 6 possessions for the quarter. That's an opposing rover, of course. And the Eagles, with the crowd roaring for them, are responding and fighting back, and it's a good-looking kick. It's a splendid kick. And David Hart kicks his second goal. The first one was a very dubious distinction. He's done it so well. 7 kicks, 2 marks, a magnificent first turn.
And this is typical play that we've seen many times now from the Eagles, where they're able to break away with that loose man. And once more, we see Matera with the ball, the hand pass out to Lewis, and completely unguarded is Matera. And in the last 5 or 6 minutes, it's the loose players that have really caused Essendon a lot of problems.
9-point lead to the Eagles. In time on in the first term. Parker well tackled and dispossessed. And Laidley cleverly an air swing at a ball and made good contact. Danaher back to the centre line. Darryl Cunningham a good flick to the back to Merritt. Nicely done. Now Hurd. Salmon, yes, this time he holds onto it and could kick a goal from just outside 50 metres. Although not the straightest, not reliably the straightest kick in the game. Runs close to the man on the mark, but then kicks very long and hammers it through. It's a beauty. Salmon's second goal, the Bombers' third, and the margin back to 3 points. But the way he kicked that distance so easily, I just wonder, Kevin, I hate to raise the subject after last Sunday, could there be a breeze blowing to that end?
Well, not quite certain whether there's too much of a breeze here tonight, but we can see that they're looking for Salmon tonight, Essendon. Obviously, the game plan is that we'll leave Paul down there and we'll look at him for every opportunity. Hawker missed him early in the night, but that time hit on the chest, and boy, he does look a colossus standing down there in the goal square.
Well done, Keane. Duckworth. Oh, into him was Mainwaring. A very high leap into William Duckworth. He takes it magnificently. He can give it, he can take it. He sent it long. Pios in front, Walsh there, Miles the leaper. Bad unlucky bounce for Cunningham there. Nice play, Lewis, as he intercepts. And then he dribbles it out to centre wing very cleverly to Mainwaring. Mainwaring looks for a short one to the half-forward flank, which he does beautifully. Lockyer now to Glendenning. Glendenning takes the mark. Oh, Terry Danaher, his new opponent, will play him close and play him hard, of course. But Ross Glendenning has kicked 2 magnificent goals already. He was well in front. And Terry came down all over him. Glendenning kicks it long and kicks it strong and kicks an enormous one. It's off direction, right in the teeth of goals. And umpire's chosen to sort the mess out by bouncing it.
Actually, it hit Ishenko in the stomach and just bounced straight back out. They were very unlucky that they weren't able to really get a fluky goal there.
28 minutes gone. It's close to the Eagles' goal. And a goal before the bell would be a bonus. Laidley, the flick out. Now Matera from 30 metres with the left boot. Hooked it too far. The Eagles get their third behind and lead by 4 points. And the bench, all those on it, just about hanging their heads with disappointment at that one.
Here comes Winton. Kicks it long to centre wing position. Danaher almost took a good one. In to assist him is Thompson. Takes on the proverbial paddock full. Danaher back it goes. And here's a chance now for Lewis. Gets the good bounce as good players so often do. Out to Keane. Keane's hand pass is awkward, not good. Trouble. Caught was Barrage, and the free kick will go to Hurd. Hurd then steadies, drives it short out to centre wing position. Thompson, loving the chance to be on the ball, looks for Roger Merritt. Zanotti's with him. Merritt won it beautifully with strength. Out wide. And a long kick
Williams.
Downfield. Williams, was it?
Yep.
Daisy Williams. Haven't sighted him since the first bounce, but just off direction through for one behind. Izzard spent most of the time on the ball and done it well, and that was one behind when it could well have been a goal.
The Bombers 6th behind. They've had 9 scoring shots to 7. First there, Williams beats off Dean Turner. Still time for Essendon to kick one. 29.5 minutes gone. Salmon with height. And it's his ball, all right. Yes, when it's kicked high like that and he's one out, he is virtually impossible to beat. And Brennan that time getting up to about his elbow.
And of course, if he doesn't take the mark, there's every chance that, well, naturally enough, it will fall to the ground. And if you've got the crumb getters there, and Izard or Williams or Bailey in there, they've also got the opportunity then of snapping a goal. So when he's in form, he's a terrific player.
The number 3 from 25 metres, and he drives it home again. The Bombers are back in front with their 4th goal. They lead by 3 points at the 30-minute mark.
Well, Salmon's had 5 kicks already, and he's taken 2 marks, and he's had a handball, and probably his best stats for an opening quarter for a long, long time. But he's going to cause tremendous trouble now for the Eagles, because Michael Brennan, who's playing at full back, is giving away, well, probably 6 inches to Paul Salmon. And Brennan is going to struggle if they look for Salmon when he leads, or they kick the ball high in the air. He's got the advantage both ways. So it's going to be a big way for Ron Alexander as the night progresses.
I wonder would they think of putting Keane down there. It'd be a daring one. Here comes Thompson, Salmon and Brennan again. Brennan, look out, you're in trouble. You're in real trouble. Goal. Oh, bad luck, Michael Brennan. Really cruel luck, because he got to the ball beautifully. But the big fish, Paul Salmon, would not give up and really got a bit of a lucky bounce. But he made the best of it, kicks his own 4th goal. And there's the score at quarter time. Essendon 5-6, 36, leading West Coast Eagles 4-3, 27.
Paul Salmon 4 of the 5. Danaher kicked the other. And for the Eagles, 2 each to Glendenning and Hart. But 2 goals in the last 60 seconds of the quarter to Salmon give the Bombers the lead by 9 points at quarter time, 5-6 to 4-3. Second quarter, Essendon 36, the Eagles 27, a 9-point lead to the visitors. The Eagles, as I said, defending that tremendous record at home in the West, where they've won 6 of their 7 games. Umpire Vernon calls play on, and Cunningham responds and runs onto his right boot towards Salmon again. Yes! Oh, his tail's up now. His tail's up a bit higher than most people's tails, actually, and so are his arms, and that's why he's so hard to beat. And he's lining up from 30 metres out directly in front.
And this is the big problem, Tim. When Paul Salmon was at his very top, who do you play on a fella who is 6'9" playing at full forward? Most sides have their tallest person in the ruck.
This should be number 5.
Let off.
Oh, bad miss.
You know, in answer to that, Kev, I think there is a chance that they'll try a desperate one and put Big Blurry Keane back there, because he doesn't look like he could do it, but he's certainly got some skills about him, and he's only about an inch shorter, but only time will tell. But certainly I agree with you, and everyone else does. Paul Salmon in form is one of the most damaging sights you'll ever see in football. Here comes Turner out wide. Bailey gives the lead, and it's eventually Williams who picks up. Williams now from a very difficult angle kicks the ball beautifully. Salmon there pushes the ball away from Glendenning, and Glendenning's down there now on the back line. So that's one significant move by coach Ron Alexander. A la Terry Danaher, my best player, I put him wherever the trouble is.
They lose a bit in attack though, and it looks as though he's got the job. He's the minder. So what a challenge now for the great Glendenning as Turner puts the ball back into play. Merritt, oh my golly, you have copped it, Brennan, from Big Rog, and when he hits you, you stay hit. Turner, courageously and well done. Back to the centre line. Wiley and Duckworth with the big thump. Laidley held when not in possession, and Duckworth tried to put him into the fence. No free kick. Well, that was amazing. He was never in possession of the ball, and now Cunningham's got it forward to the centre. And 15 metres brings him almost to centre half forward.
And Darryl Cunningham playing very well. Sends a driving pass and a good-looking one. Glendenning comes in and beautiful interception. Fierce and courageous. Driving kick is a beauty out to the knot, and he flums it. He's still got time to get a hand pass to Rob Wiley. Wiley down towards the half-forward flank looking for Laidley. Over the back they come, and falling to the ground is Laidley. Out it goes towards Hart. He's in lots of trouble. He was over the line as he kicked the ball, and Peter Francis will have to transport the ball back, and there's Brennan in trouble. Roger Merritt right into that rib cage.
I agree with you, Doug. I think that Ross Glendenning should be left at centre half forward, because when you've got a guy who's such a danger and playing well, by taking away is a terrific source already to Essendon, with Danaher having to be moved down there.
That perpetual stopper Hurd with the job on Mainwaring, and he's done it superbly so far. Danaher to half forward to Walsh. 50 metres from goal and out near the boundary line. No free kick, crowd yelling ball, but he wasn't impeded. He wasn't really captured by the tackler. So there can't be a free kick. Good tackle on Bailey, another good one on Thompson. Or was it? The umpire says it was high. And the Bomber Thompson, takes a free 50 metres from goal. He's got the hobbles too, so the distance might be a tester here. Essendon doing all the attacking in the first 3.5 minutes of the quarter, but they've only added a couple of behinds. Now a chance for Thompson from inside 50. Lovely looking left footer. Crowd silent. You can hear a pin drop. It can only mean one thing. The Bombers have kicked their 6th, and they've got away to a very handy 17-point lead.
Well, that's easily a free kick, as we can see around the neck there to Bomber Thompson, who mainly plays out of the back pocket, often does a tagging role, but not too much tagging tonight by the Essendon side. It's as if Kevin Sheedy has them in their positions and he's asked them to play their own game. And we've seen in the past where there's been tremendously close shadowing of players, but tonight it's all stops out for the Bombers.
And again, Duckworth gets them into attack, and luckily the kick goes straight to Bailey. Bailey then sends it long, looking for Salmon. Glendenning. Oh, Salmon nearly took a good one in front of him with strength. Out towards Mainwaring. Walsh kicks at the ball in Mainwaring's hands. Merritt very nicely to Salmon. Salmon, a left foot snap, which close it's through. It is, and the big fellow can't go wrong. He's playing absolutely brilliantly. That was a magnificent left foot snap. Fine pass from Merritt, and they're looking good, Kevin.
Makes you wonder how he missed that one in the first quarter when he was kicking on his right boot. But terrific play by Roger Merritt, and I've been really impressed with Merritt tonight. He's really thrown his weight around. And look at that slick hand pass, and just shows you the skills of Paul Salmon when his confidence is up, onto his left boot, and that drop punt right through the centre.
So Essendon 50, leading by 23 points from the Eagles 27. Renstead to half forward. Winton, great mark in front of Keane. Full of determination and courage. And gets it to Johnston, but put him under pressure. Hart now on the flank. Keane, 65 metres from goal. Centering kick is a good one. Renstead running onto it, but didn't look as if he really went at it with full commitment. Now Matera, plenty of commitment about him, but nothing back there for the Eagles. And easy for Essendon as Danaher takes Francis's hand pass.
Nice play, Hurd in front. There's Essendon players everywhere. Izard very clever, chipped one out. Running with it, Winton having a wonderful match. Gets well shepherded and goes for a long one. And across comes Mainwaring in front of Salmon. Walsh takes him on. There's nobody in the goal square. Glendenning there. Mainwaring and Walsh is very strong. Runs it further downfield. Mainwaring frustrates him. The ball is kicked over the line out of bounds. Out of bounds on the full. And the free kick will go to the Bombers.
There's Miles having a big swing at it, but contacting it too well. And Williams takes it. Good over 40 metres out. Bombers by 23 points. Is it there? Not quite. Well roved by Barrett. The half-back. Laidley in the sleeves. Cunningham his pursuer. And Hawker with the final little nudge. Forces a throw in. Half-forward flank for Essendon, doing all the attacking in this second term. They've kicked 2-2 to nothing and lead by 23 points.
And they've moved Brennan to full forward, which to me is a strange move because he still seems to be quite a lot of pain after that heavy knock from Roger Merritt, and I think he'd be better off the ground.
W. Duckworth again, long hand pass out to Hurd. Hurd's got lots and lots of time. Steadies and drives looking for Salmon again. Salmon in great position, punched away from him. Bailey is well tackled, picked up by Lewis. The laconic ones gets a quiet little pass out wide. Taken by Hart. Oh, look out. And down he went from a big leap by David Johnston. And the umpire speaks to him, and the free kick is going to go to Laidley. But wasn't it a big leap into him, and there'll be a pretty sorry looking side here. The West Coast Eagles, they've taken a lot of punishment. And here's Mainwaring.
I know you like discussing those, Doug, it really was just about a reportable offence because the man had the mark well and truly sewn up, and the object of the man arriving late was really to flatten him and nothing else. It was a charge. Ball on the Eagles' half-forward line. Keane, a nice hand pass to Hart, who's kicked 2 goals and lucky to score a behind. The Eagles' first score of the quarter, and they trail by 22 points. They're losing on the board, and physically they're taking a hammering.
Winton short, beautifully short to Danaher. Danaher, such a verse. Oh, that's danger. Lockyer tackles. Madden, Laurie Keane. Lots of trouble, the big fella, still got his way through. Chance to Renstead. Renstead onto his left foot. Nobody home except Danaher. Not a soul in the goal square. Danaher then drives it out wide with a lovely pass to Thompson. He's always keen to give it to Thompson, who's so safe and reliable. Johnston now down towards centre wing. Glenn Hawker pursued by Mainwaring and back crashes into the fence. Mainwaring says to the umpire, I didn't do anything. But the free kick nevertheless is going to go to Glenn Hawker, and Duckworth and his opponent Mainwaring have a bit of scuffle, and Bill Duckworth in every fracas that's been on here tonight.
Well, there didn't look to be too much wrong with that. He pushed him as Hawker was trying to dispose of the ball. Free kick going the Eagles' way. Big Rog nods knowingly, and Zanotti takes it just behind the centre line. Nothing there again for the Eagles, although Wiley makes a good fist of it. Johnston cleverly to Hawker. Now Duckworth from the half-back flank. High wobbler. Merritt late on the scene. Hawker. High tackle from Laidley. Hawker's free kick between half-back and wing. Renstead once again is off the ground with Barrage.
Yes, Renstead certainly isn't flavour of the month with Ron Alexander. He's so quickly taken off the ground. Nice leap. The big fellow. Off he comes, Big Alex. And drives it downfield, in front Francis. Over the back it goes, unlucky, bounce there for Lockyer. Taken nicely. And steadying himself and driving it is Considine. Towards centre half-back, and the mark was taken there on the half-back line by Lockyer, by Miles. Miles hand pass as well.
To Lamb, into the middle. Malaxos back in action. Coming off the bench, and in fact it's Pios who was sitting alongside Renstead on the bench. Duckworth in the way. And the Eagles with nothing in attack at the moment.
And they're falling down badly around the packs also, even though Hart and Matera are doing well. Wiley, Malaxos, Anir and Renstead have all been poor players for the Eagles tonight.
Thompson, the scout. Beautiful delivery to Cunningham as Renstead prepares to come back. Cunningham 55 metres out. Goes long, but inaccurately. A minor score to Essendon. They're 9th behind. They lead by 23 points.
Well, Michael Brennan's off the field, and I think that's a belated move because he could hardly move down at full forward, and Essendon's easily ran the ball out.
Here's Merritt on the boundary line, centres it and centres it beautifully to Williams, and a long late leap by Miles was spectacular stuff and saved them. But Williams was in great position, and Merritt, as he so often has done, a very intelligent player, centred the ball beautifully. Miles came in, spoiled same.
Yushchenko. It's straight to Cunningham on his natural kicking boot. And it's another one to Essendon. They're 8th. And this is becoming an avalanche. They trailed 4 goals to 2. They've kicked the last 6 goals of the game and lead by 29 points.
And I think that some of the moves of Ron Alexander haven't really been good ones. They've had the ball down their forward line on a couple of occasions, but without Glendenning down there, who is the big danger, and also then putting an injured player at full forward, to me, they've just wasted several opportunities in this quarter because kicking goals does put pressure on the opposition. And at this particular stage, there looks to be not too many people on the forward line of the Eagles who can kick a goal.
Here they go again with Bailey driving them into attack. Barrage looking for it. Thompson's his opponent. Oh, Salmon is swamped. He was swamped, the big fellow. He expected a free kick. It's not going to come. Oh, if ever there's a sandwich, that's one, Kev.
Wasn't a free kick, it was a fair bump by Lewis.
Salmon sandwich?
Yes.
John West.
He's a good one to get down. His Hart, been one of their best. Drives looking for Renstead. Nice strong football by Considine once again. And he turns and steadies. What a nice likely looking build he is too. Madden spoilt by Turner. Madden recovers well and hits it out brilliantly to Hurd. Hurd then tries a short one down to the flank and does it nicely. Back it comes towards Parker. Parker in trouble. Caught by Big Keane. Cunningham in the thick of things too. And eventually it's out to Lewis. Lewis taps it on very nicely to Matera. Out to the centre of the ground, Malaxos. Malaxos, a driver, it's a good one. A perfect pass. And Lockyer just kept on streaming downfield and received. Well, they needed that one. They needed it very badly. Some nice team football. First time they've been able to develop it for this term.
28-point lead to the Bombers. Duckworth plays on and kicks very nonchalantly towards Danaher, who's beaten by Lockyer. Still out there after having that shot for goal. Inside to Anir, very quiet so far. And nothing there again for the Eagles. Wiley with 3 relative giants against him. And Considine takes it just too easily. Johnston back to Considine. Around Wiley. Dangerous kick, but finds his skipper Danaher at half-back.
On to her. Centre half-back he is. Thompson in front. Nice spoil that time by Mainwaring. Unlucky bounce. Walsh gets the chance. Helping him out there is Hawker. Drives it downfield. Looking for Salmon all the time now, of course. Madden's there. He's the quick runner. The battler is Miles, who's fought ferociously throughout the match. Hand pass comes out. It's Lewis. He'll go it short. Not good. Walsh in front, but almost taken by Keane and lost it. And then overrunning it was Winton. Keane is tackled. Back to Walsh. Walsh out to Hawker, and Hawker's got the chance on the half-forward flank. He's caught. Hand pass back to Walsh. Walsh is tackled by a couple. Malaxos has got the chance on the half-back flank.
And well played, the Eagles, ganging up there, and they've got men at the ball here too. The skillful Renstead between centre and half-forward, but well tackled then by Johnston to ensure that he couldn't play on. Keane preparing to come back. Badly placed kick by Renstead. Too easy for Duckworth at half-back for Essendon. Sees a man in space, in fact 2 of them, one Keane just off the bench, but Cunningham, after kicking a goal, has got his tail up and makes a mess of it. Well done, Lewis. Just got him by the jumper. Forced the bad hand pass. Keane beats Wiley. Forward of the centre now as there's a skirmish behind play. Up to half forward. Ischenko against Izzard. David and Goliath, if ever you saw it. Push in the back against Malaxos. Free kick to Keane. 55 metres from goal.
And the 15-metre penalty. And this brings Keane within kicking range. He tries a short pass and does it well. Kevin Walsh. Well, this is the Essendon we knew of yesteryear, Kevin Bartlett, isn't it?
Yes, well, they're all powerful tonight. They're vigorous. They're going very hard at the ball. They're running in numbers. They're kicking the ball very well now after a bit of a poor showing in that first 10 minutes.
Kevin Walsh for goal, and that's not what one would expect.
Well, he kicked it like a centre-half back, Doug.
Yeah, I was going to say backman's kick.
I think Kevin Walsh is happy he actually gets the ball between the point posts.
Glendenning out to half-back for Keane. Should have held that, had it on the chest, and Winton now, the full-back. Will he kick like a forward or a back? Who's there? Merritt and Madden raffle it. Goal? Touch ball. Wow, close.
Probably could have kicked it off the ground a split second earlier. I think at one stage there it looked as if Merritt and Madden looked like they wanted to pick the ball up.
30-point lead to the Bombers.
Out very wide, and it's all Essendon in the air again as Winton's looking very dangerous. Hawker lost what he might have got, then taps it out wide cleverly. Thompson has a left foot shot for goal, but it's off direction, and Merritt is calling out, why didn't you not centre it to me? I was alone and unattended. Billy Duckworth, incidentally, having a wonderful match, has had 10 kicks, 2 marks and 1 handball for the match.
3-6 to 2 behinds in this quarter.
And the Eagles only have Lockyer at full forward and not a player then up until the edge of the centre square.
Well taken, Renstead. Between half-back and centre. That wasn't so hot, though. Wiley, virtually kickless as the veteran. Considine sweeping it. Hurd. Lewis now. Well played. Anir. And the Eagles mount the attack. Wiley had to kick in a hurry and hasn't placed it. Danaher. Well done. Bombers full of confidence, and suddenly it all seems to be flowing back to the champions of 84 and 85. Great juggling effort by Danaher, and a good pass inside to Francis at halfback. Kicks through the middle of the ground. Hawker comes from behind. Goes the spoil against Ischenko. Walsh, strong, tough. Hurd now inside 50 metres. No pressure, and kicks atrociously. But it's marked. Well, I thought it was going to travel the distance, but Madden taking the mark. wanting to reduce the angle, but the umpire will bring him right around to the tightest angle possible. And look at that for a record. 4 best and fairest. Which boot will he use? He's a left footer. If it's a goal, it's a great one. Essendon's 13th behind, and they're 7th in this quarter.
Well, the old-timers are really doing it in style for Kevin Shooting. Madden, Merritt, Duckworth, Danaher, of course, as he always does. And the young fellas have pulled their weight, but it's the inspiration of the tough men that's done it. Billy Duckworth's been a gem as well, of course. Long kick there by Glendenning, very long. Looking for Laurie Keane, can't hold it. In front is a near, might have taken a free for that around the neck. Into the centre of the ground, running straight at was Keane, and it bounces to Francis. Francis breaks through and left foots it downfield. In front, the mark will be taken for the Eagles by Miles. Miles looks for a hand pass. Out it goes to Barrage. He sends looking for Robert Wiley. Wiley and Francis. Well done, Rob. Took it nicely in the half-forward flank, and they really need a constructive move forward now. Down there waiting is Salmon, who's there, and Salmon in front. Lockyer punts it away. There's an unusual thing to see Salmon there as Madden had a rest. Salmon on the ball, Madden at full forward, and the ball is pushed over the line out of bounds.
Well, I'd rather see him still in the goal square and maybe Merritt on the ball, and maybe put Simon at centre half forward, or maybe even on a flank.
Well played by the big Russian, but no one there. Still trail
forward after having Brennan there, who was injured. They've got Laidley virtually at centre half forward, and they look very, very tiny across their forward line. And really, when they had Lockyer at full forward and Glendenning at centre half forward, they looked like they had something.
And another free kick. Taken by Turner, who kicked that last goal, and here comes Lockyer and Danaher. Danaher in front of Butte mark. Danaher, a magnificent mark, always out to Francis. Francis, who's a long kick, looks for Hawker. Mainwaring 2-1 against him. Hawker's going to... No, he fights it out very well. Well done, Mainwaring. That was brilliant. Out it comes to Hart. Or was it Renstead? Down it comes, and the big Russian goes up, but he's outmarked by Salmon. No, he's not. It's his.
Oh.
Well, we're a long way away, and the umpire was in perfect position. Bill Duckworth is the man who's saying a few words to the umpire, but it certainly looked like Salmon.
Man in front.
And it still looked like it.
It's just a bad decision by the umpire.
Well, if ever they needed a hometown...
was able to kick a goal when really it was a behind. And also in that particular case, let's have a look at Salmon in front there. A clear mark to Salmon, who was in front of Ischenko.
And as you saw a moment ago, Madden off now, and Spencer's come on, and he's at full forward while Salmon has a run on the ball.
And a better forward line set up by putting Ischenko now down into the square along with Lockyer. It's given him a bit of height.
And a chance to use it. Laidley with pace and courage, knocking on for the Eagles, but Wiley behind Francis, held him. Francis is free. Crowd hooting, but no doubt about that. Peter Francis playing well. Recent 150 gamer. Merritt using a lot of body in there. Now Izzard on the centre line. Trip, no. Goes backwards cleverly to Johnston. Has to kick in a hurry and very high. Salmon. Zanotti, quiet tonight. Kicks to space. Duckworth first there. The bulldozer goes through and is... Oh, I thought he was going to be met by Hart. Barrage on the centre line. And the Eagles looking better. Running onto it as a near. Inside to Hart. 45 metres out. They're fiddling. Wiley. High, up and down on the one spot. Ischenko and Lockyer. Play on as umpire Clayton's first call. His second call is ball up. Laidley looking for the push in the back and telling umpire Clayton so. It was a line ball.
It was a great tackle.
Yeah, I think ultimately not a bad decision.
The crowd roared for free kick. And the Eagles are in attack. Winton taken away by Wiley. Winton recovers. Turner tackles him. Out of bounds it is. Just a little recap of this quarter. There's been 6 marks taken by the magnificent captain of Essendon, Terry Danaher. Moved to the back line when Glendenning looked like taking over. Now Glendenning suffered the same thing. He's been moved to the back line. And Essendon doing all the work. Wiley the tackler against him.
Provocative decision that. The crowd saying, well, what about the one a moment ago to Laidley?
Johnson out to Winton. Winton casually goes off. Sends it downfield. Looking there for Danaher. 7th mark for the quarter.
Impassable. 15 metres. Bring him further up the ground if he wants it. There are many men in red and black there for the hand pass, but he decides to kick, and why not? Darryl Cunningham unopposed on the centre line. Hurd now inside him. Back to Cunningham. And well placed too for Johnston, coming out of defence to be forward of the centre, but about 70 metres from goal. Chip kick is pretty good. Spencer, first touch of the ball, couldn't quite hold it. Free kick to the Eagles. Glendenning and Lewis, I think both held when not in possession.
Umpire down.
And away goes Lewis.
And Lewis, who can kick the ball a mile, doesn't get the chances. He's very well tackled. Bad luck. Bounce. Nice football this time by Barrich. Barrich's kick is high in there and doesn't do anything for them. Bad luck. Straight out there it goes to Johnston. Johnston on to Thompson, who's been a fine player. His kick is far too wide. It's out of bounds on the full. And that was the first blemish as he tried to find Gavin Keane, and the free kick will go to Hart, who's been one of the Eagles' best players. Right, there's the printable stand. And here's the free kick to the Eagles.
And the crowd in that stand finding voice as the Eagles show signs of a fight back, but still trail by 20 points. Hart to half forward. No marking power there for West Coast. Whistle before the ball had even found Salmon's hands, I think, indicating that the umpire might have felt there was a push. And Salmon, with 5 goals in the attacking half, is on the ball at the moment. Izzard, long floating hand pass to Thompson. Winton, tremendous dasher out of defence. Good centering kick towards Spencer up at half forward. Beaten by Glendenning. Keane. Well done to Zanotti. 3 Eagles inside him. Goes for a near. Virtually in the centre circle. Now Matera. And the Eagles mount another attack. Wiley the danger here. 45 metres out.
Includes 8 best and fairest with the Perth Football Club.
And in the centre of the ground, Kevin Walsh doing a lot better on the forward line. Out to Hurd, who's come in this quarter. Hurd for the half-forward flank. Nice leap, unsuccessful. Izzard fighting for it. Down goes Lamb. Play on, says the umpire to Malaxis. Into the centre of the ground, and Murray Renstead steadies and drives it very long, looking for the big Alex Stoichenko. In front, past Wiley, it goes to Johnston. Johnston out to centre wing position, where Hawker's leading Mainwaring in the run for the ball. Hawker right on the boundary line. The ball was in and he was over, but he still got the chance to drive a short pass downfield. It's not a good one. Glendenning, one hand up, couldn't take it. Here's Malaxos. Quick hand pass out to the flank, taken by Miles, and Miles short across it goes to Ross Glendenning again. A very long one. Up went Johnston, past him it goes, and it's all Bombers through the big fish Salmon.
The small men flew, the giant weighted down, disposes beautifully to Cunningham. Big possession winner for Essendon. Now Hurd, and the Bombers are running. Through the middle goes Hurd. Decides to kick long towards Spencer. 40 metres out from goal. Awkward bounce for everybody, and at the back, hurried kick, Keane off the ground. Izzard into the post, was it? No, it's a goal. Did it the hard way, and right on half-time the Bombers get that one, as they did at the end of the first quarter. They finish with a goal, so while the Eagles have been fortunate to get 2, in which case it appeared that the umpire erred, once the goal umpire and once the field umpire, the Bombers have snuck in by about 5 seconds at the end of each quarter, and that one snuck in by about 5 centimetres. So at half-time the margin is 20 points in Essendon's favour, 9-13-67. to West Coast 7.
Well, they came back in 1984, and then, of course, they won flags in successive years. What we've got for you tonight, the closing 11 or 12 minutes or so of that 1965 Premier.